The Volquest 2-Minute Drill is brought to you by Food City, official tailgating headquarters of the Vols.
Welcome to Monday of Florida Week. It is the Food City 2-Minute Drill. He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price. And Brent, you got to hear from the Coach Heupel today. Showed the team a film showing the main players in this rivalry, the rivalry games, the big plays on both sides. He wants to go ahead and, beat into them like everybody's going to talk about the streak. This is still a big rivalry. Let's go and just play football.
Well, I think the other thing you're probably doing a little bit too is you're trying to make sure they don't see this as a 3-7 football team. That you're going to get a different version of Florida than what their record is. If I don't know that you would do that if the roles were reversed or if Florida was a 7-3 team. I don't know that you have to do that, but I think this was a little bit of understand the history here, so you can literally throw their record out because this rivalry and this game has meant so much to both teams for so long since the introduction of divisional play. And Florida is better than their 3-7 record. Now, as Bill Parcells said, right, your record or you are what your record says you are. And, but Florida's a team that can do some things. They just haven't finished games very well. They've been in a bunch of games. They haven't finished them.
When you look at this team, obviously Joey Aguilar's got to put the ball in a spot where his wide receivers can make plays. He's done that most of the year, but the last couple of games he's put the ball up for grabs a few times. Has to play more mistake-free football. Coach Heupel talked about that.
Yeah, he does. He has, as he likes to say, be on the right side of it. He's got to take care of the football. You got to make plays when they're there. You got to rip it, but you also got to have the ball at the end of the play, and you've got to be smart about it. And I think part of it's footwork. He's got to get his mechanics, and particularly when there's some pressure on him, he can't get his mechanics sort of sideways. That's what we've seen in a couple of those interceptions that he's had the last two games in the first half. So, that's going to be important. Running the football is going to be important. And I think they have to avoid that lull for whatever reason that happens. And I asked Coach Heupel about that, and he's right. It's a combination of things, but you go look, and they've just had quarters where they've been shut out in the second quarter after a good start. They've got to produce for the entire half.
Asked about Boo Carter, did say that he shouldn't have been on the SEC availability report after Boo came out with comments talking about how he's been injured and Coach Heupel wanted him to play injured. A lot of guys are nicked up and have dings and scrapes and all that all throughout the year. You go back, you have a center on your football team that refused to let his ankle get taped because he didn't want them to rule him out, out of Mississippi State. Clearly they're trying to move forward away from the whole Boo Carter situation, even though Boo's gave some comments.
Well, I think Boo's trying to move forward too, but he's trying to move forward with the narrative that he didn't get dismissed and it wasn't anything he did from an action standpoint. He's not been playing because he's been hurt, even though they've wanted him to play. That's going to be their story. Obviously, Josh Heupel's story and Tennessee's stance is very different on that. But the bottom line is, as Josh Heupel said, it didn't work. He was given opportunities. Josh Heupel doesn't regret giving him second opportunities, but sometimes it doesn't work. And in this case, it just didn't work. Both parties need to move on. Tennessee has clearly moved on with their focus on Florida.
It's Tennessee and Florida coming up on Saturday night in Gainesville. For Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price.
The Volquest 2-Minute Drill is brought to you by Food City, official tailgating headquarters of the Vols.